Welcome to the final chapter of The Legend of Nneka, the woman who saw the moon. The story has brought us to this pivotal moment where the fate of Umudike hangs by a thread. Will Nneka's visions save her people, or will darkness engulf the village? Stay with us to witness the conclusion of this epic tale. The village of Umudike was shrouded in a strange, suffocating darkness. The moon, Nneka's eternal guide, seemed veiled by unseen hands. Villagers huddled together, whispering prayers and tales of impending doom. They say the spirits are restless. What if Nneka's warnings were true? She spoke of the moon guiding her. But how can we trust what we cannot see? Another villager said. In the distance, the rhythmic sound of the ceremonial drums echoed, calling the village together for an urgent meeting. Nneka stood at the edge of the crowd, her heart pounding. Obioma, her father, stepped forward, his deep voice cutting through the murmurs. Obioma said, "My people, the air is heavy with fear, and we cannot ignore the warnings any longer. My daughter has a message from the moon itself." The villagers turned to Nneka, their faces a mix of skepticism and hope. Nneka said, "The moon has spoken of a great calamity, but it has also shown me a path to save Umudike. We must perform the ancient ritual of reconciliation, where man and spirit become one in harmony." Elder Nwok replied sternly, "Rituals? The ways of the spirits are dangerous, child. What if we awaken something far worse?" Nneka responded firmly, "Elder, a proverb says, 'He who closes his eyes to the sun will stumble in darkness.' We cannot turn away from what is before us. This is our only chance." After much debate, the elders finally relented, placing their faith in Nneka. The villagers began preparations for the ritual, guided by the herbalist Anayo. Under the watchful eyes of the spirits, Nneka led the villagers to the sacred grove. The air was thick with the scent of burning herbs as Anayo chanted ancient incantations. Anayo said, "The spirits demand sincerity of heart and unity of purpose. Each of you must offer something precious to signify your commitment to the village's survival." One by one, the villagers stepped forward, placing symbolic offerings, a mother's woven basket, a farmer's best yam, a child's carved toy, onto the sacred altar. As the ritual reached its peak, the air grew still. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing the flames. The ground trembled as a figure emerged from the shadows. It was the spirit masquerade, towering and resplendent. Spirit said in a deep voice,
"Why should I spare this village that has neglected its ties to the spirit world?"
Nneka replied boldly, "Great Spirit, a proverb says, 'The river does not forget its source, no matter how far it flows.' We seek forgiveness and guidance to restore the bond we have broken." The spirit's glowing eyes studied Nneka. Its voice softened, but it remained commanding. Spirit said,
"You must prove your worth. If you fail, your village will perish with the rising sun."
The spirit transported Nneka to a mystical plane where she faced 3 trials: courage, wisdom, and sacrifice. In the first trial, she confronted her deepest fears, a storm of voices accusing her of failure. Nneka whispered, "The palm tree bends but does not break." Her resolve carried her through. In the second trial, she answered riddles from the spirits, using the lessons she had learned from her village and the moon. Spirit asked, "What has roots that no one sees and yet it reaches the skies?" Nneka replied confidently, "The Iroko tree, grounded in wisdom but always growing toward understanding." In the final trial, Nneka was asked to offer her most treasured possession, her connection to the moon. With tears in her eyes, she accepted, declaring, "For my village, I will sacrifice all." Nneka returned to the clearing, exhausted but victorious. The spirit raised its staff, and light burst forth, lifting the darkness from Umudike. Spirit said, "Your courage has restored balance. May your village never forget the bond between man and spirit." The villagers erupted in joyous celebration, dancing and singing praises to Nneka. Obioma embraced his daughter, pride shining in his eyes. Obioma said, "A proverb says, 'The child who fetches water is blessed, for she quenches the thirst of her family.' You have quenched our fears, Nneka. And so, dear listener, Nneka's extraordinary journey comes to an end, leaving us with valuable lessons to reflect upon. From her unwavering courage in the face of danger, we learn that true bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to confront it. Through her wisdom, we are reminded of the Igbo proverb, "He who pursues an innocent chicken always stumbles." Innocence and truth will always prevail when we stay steadfast. Nneka's selflessness teaches us that a community thrives when its members are willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. As the Igbo say, a single tree cannot make a forest. It is through unity, understanding, and shared purpose that we grow stronger together. Her story also reminds us to respect our traditions and listen to the wisdom of elders, for the past holds the keys to navigating the future. As the elders often say, a river that forgets its source will dry up. Thank you for embarking on this journey with us, learning from the legend of Nneka, the woman who saw the moon. If you've enjoyed this tale, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What lessons did you take away from Nneka's story? Stay tuned for more captivating stories of courage, wisdom, and tradition. Till next time, remember, the moon does not forget the night it shines brightest. Goodbye.